Hey guys, I'm Anthony and welcome back to another DIY. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make delicious death chocolate cheesecake. First step you want to do, you want to get 24 Oreos and you want to open them up and take out the filling so you can crush the cracker for your crust. And guys, okay, if you still have a little bit of the cream on your Oreo cookie, just try to take off some of it if you can. If you can't, it's perfectly fine because it's a cheesecake, so I think that'll be okay. Make it have a little bit more flavor. You want to do this for all your cookies. And before you crush Oreos for your crust for your cheesecake, make sure almost all of it's off. If just some little bits off on the skin is perfectly fine. Won't hurt anybody if you give it more flavor. And the great thing about this is once you're done, you can have a snack. Try not to do that just like what I did. Just take it off with your finger. Try not to do that. I mean, it'll be perfectly fine if just a little bit of that's on there, but just try not to do it. See how a little bit of the fillings on there? Try to take that off. And again, don't wipe it off the knife with your cracker, so it can come out perfectly. And I prefer trying using your sharpest knife you ever have in the house. I think that'll work like better. Like, I don't know how that happened, but that happens to you. Just try to take out as much as possible. I mean, you're going to really crush the crackers for your crust for your cheesecake, so I mean, it's alright that happens. And if a little bit's on there. Set aside our cream, so we really don't need that at all. And you're just going to want to take a plastic bag with all your Oreo crackers and just grab something in your house, like a rolling pin or something, to smash all the crackers to a form like crust. Now this is not a must, but I just always do. I try to remove as much air as I can as possible, because sometimes I can get in the way. I don't want it to pop, like a scare popping sounds. One reason why I don't like balloons, but that's what I always try not to do. So don't get a rolling pan and just mash all of them. The next step I want to do is get a bowl and transfer all the crust you made into the bowl. If it doesn't look like this, you probably need to put it back and do a little bit more. If you see like those pieces, like that's fine. As long as it's mostly crushed, you should be good. What next want to do is get a bowl or smaller bowl and put 6 tablespoons in there, melt it, and then put it into your crust. What you want to do next is just pour your melted butter inside the crust. Make sure all that's in there. Just get some kosher salt in your hand and just get a pinch and just put it into the crust. You don't really need a lot since it's just a pinch, so just about that much. And throw the rest away. What you want to do is just stir that in to its forms mostly like a paste, and you will not need any more salt, any more butter. That should be all enough. It might not seem enough, just keep stirring. Sometimes if I think it's not combined well enough, I like to just beat it. And once it's hard to stir, then that means it's all mixed in together. Right after you got done putting your butter and salt and stirring that, it should look very thick and combined. Okay guys, this is the next step. We're finally going to start forming the cheesecake. All you need is a stand blender or a mix blender. You don't really need anything fancy, but I usually like it. Guys, so now we're going to finally start to form the cheesecake. All you will need is 4 cream cheeses, 1/4 cocoa powder, 3/4 grounded sugar, and 1/4 salt, and 3 eggs. But you want to add those eggs one at a time. You don't want to add them all together. That's what you really don't want, because then you're going to ruin the cheesecake. After you got done blending all your 4 eggs one by one slowly, what I like to do is scrape the bowl to make sure I got everything blended in nice. You really don't want chunks in your cheesecake, so scrape the sides and just try to get as much smooth as possible. Other one was not working very well, so I'm gonna use this one on mine, see if that works a little bit better. My cream cheese got a little bit fluffy and softer. That's because I have a KitchenAid and I was using this one and it wasn't blending very well. So it's a different one, so it got more flavor. Depending on what kind of mixer or blender you have, just use different stuff and mess with it to make it more fluffy and soft, because you really don't want it chunky. I did a little bit taste test on my cheesecake and it tastes a little bit better, and I realized I forgot one step to add 1.5 cups of brown sugar. So I'm just gonna add that real quick and blend it to see how it tastes. Okay guys, the last step I'm gonna do to this cheesecake is get some chocolate, chop it up, melt it, and put it in there and mix it, and it should be all done. Get your sharpest knife to do this job very well. You just want to be careful not to drop it, to just not drop any. Okay guys, really all you need is just 9 ounces, but I'm just going to take all this and melt it. Because this is not technically 9 ounces, but I'm just going to melt that. Just to save some time, I'm going to melt it and put it in the microwave. I mean, that's not really going to save me time, but I think it's just going to be faster. So technically, just to make things go a little bit faster. Guys, now we're just going to pour the melted chocolate into our cream cheese mix, and then we should be all... Okay guys, so this cheesecake DIY will only go in a 9-inch cheesecake pan, so grease that and just put that I use on my cakes. Just gonna grease it a little bit, not too much. Well, you kind of want to use a lot if you're doing my method, so it doesn't get stick to the pan once you start cutting it. Whenever you're having this cheesecake for, either a party, celebration, whatever it may be. I kind of would add a lot so it won't stick. So I think that'll be the worst thing when you're trying to cut it and get it out and then it sticks. Even when you think you already had enough, just add maybe a little bit more. Can never go wrong with this. Okay, now we're just gonna pour it inside, but before you pour it in there, we're gonna put in our crust we made. Just get your Oreo crust in there and just tightly put it all together in there. Just tap it down. Mostly as flat as I can. Just use like a measuring cup or a spoon to get just as flat as you can. Just go around it. Just don't make it the crust too high, and just only make it 3 inches. I'm just going around and moving it as I go to make it as flat as I can. And try not to move it around like I did too much, because it is just a cheesecake pan and the bottom will move a lot. This is crust. The crust is the most part. Try to make it flat as possible if you can. Like that's the most flat. Spoon to help me make it a little bit more neater. Now what you want to do is just pour your cheesecake sauce on top. You want to get all of it in there. And now guys, before you get done with your cheesecake sauce, you want to make sure it's blended all good together because you don't want it to come out like some parts white and some parts chocolate. I'm just going to smooth it down. Just make it nice and neat. Kind of like that. And if you still have some more, just go back and get that. Because you want everything in there. So it can be correct and accurate. Depending on what kind of blender, cake blender you have, you might have to do this step twice. Because it comes out to like a lot. I try to get mostly all of the batter, for the cheesecake batter, because I don't want it to come out like uneven. I just try to get as much out as I possibly can. And there we go, that's all of it. Now the rest of it, I'm just gonna smooth it back out. Smooth it the way it was. You don't wanna be too flat. After you get done putting it in. So just try to smooth it like that. I'm just gonna put it in the oven to like 350 to 1 hour and 15 minutes. And you want to take it out when it's still wiggly. Okay guys, so it's the next day. I chilled my cheesecake for 4 hours in the whole day, just to be safe. Next, what you want to do is get a microwave safe bowl, put all your chocolate chips in there, set those aside, and get your whipping cream and put that on both of your whipped cream in there and wait till bubbles around the sides, and that's when you're done. If that bubbles are on the rim and on the surface, that's when you need to stop. Once you're done cooking heavy cream, you want to put that in a cup. That won't break. It's gonna be very hot. Guys, next what you do is pour your hot, heavy cream on the chocolate chips, and this is just gonna create the sauce for the top of your cheesecake. And you just want to whisk that with the actual whisk or fork. It'll work the same way. We'll do that slowly. Just like a chocolate sauce is going to be for the topping for your cheesecake. Okay guys, so what you want to do is pour the chocolate sauce on top of your cheesecake with the chocolate curls, and you're all done. Next step, I'll grab offset spatula to smooth it out easily. Okay, if you think I'm enough, we're just gonna smooth it out and put it back in the fridge for 10 minutes. So smooth it out. Just getting some drips off the side. Now, we're going to put the chocolate swirls on there. Just put a lot if you have small swirls. Okay guys, we're all done. So I'm just going to set that back in the refrigerator for just about 10 minutes so the sauce can cool down. And there you have it, guys. That's how you make delicious Death chocolate cheesecake. Thanks for watching, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. All my social medias will be linked down below, and I'll see you on the next DIY. Peace.